2 today. Rink 2 is the newer of the 2 rinks. But less seating, about 300 capacity in this rink versus 1,200 in rink number 1 that we played our first 3 pool play games in. Today, we have the 2014 SDP Selects versus the Wisconsin Blue Devils. SDP has gone 3-0 in pool play, with a huge lead in goal differential in the tournament standings. The Blue Devils have gone 2-1 in pool play so far. So the scenario is for SDP, win or tie and play in the championship game this afternoon. If the Blue Devils win, both teams will be 3-1, and the Blue Devils will have the tiebreaker, and SDP will be hoping for a 3-way tie where their goal differential will still get them to the championship game. But we can avoid all of those fun scenarios by winning or tying and punching our ticket to the chip on our own. Tried to get some information online about the Blue Devils. There's not a lot available other than they primarily train out of Tomah, Wisconsin. If you've ever drove to Wisconsin Dells, you've gone through Tomah. It's on 94, where at the intersection of 90, where that comes in from the La Crescent area. So they have players mostly from the state of Wisconsin, but I read that there are some players from Minnesota that train with them as well, maybe a few. The 2 games they won were relatively close margins by a couple goals, and then they lost one big, which is a little bit of an oddity. Leads me to believe maybe they were down a couple players. Minutes on the clock. Goalies are ready. Let's play hockey. Scribner wins the draw. He's flanked by Mertz and Royson, his usual line mates. Snyder and Ogborn at the points. Puck goes around to Scribner at the Freddy Steakburger sign, and Scribner tries to push it back in. Mertz creates the loose puck with his skate, and the Blue Devils promptly ice the puck. And we'll go in for an ozone draw. Blue Devils change all 5 quickly. Looks like they have a relatively full bench. 3 lines of forwards, 2 D pairs. Draw one to Snyder. Snyder with a shot. Saved by the goaltender. Goes over to the corner. Mertz with the backhand up to Snyder. Snyder tries to go D to D, but there was not a passing lane there. Ogborn to Royson, who carries it offside as his line mates have not yet tagged up, and SDP will change. Draw one by Johnson down to Price. Price chips it into the zone. Johnson in on the forecheck along with Purdue. Johnson tries to get to the net front. Now Purdue Whiffs on a pass, gets it back up to Schmidt. Schmidt with a shot. That gets deflected. Block. Now Purdue to Haley. Haley fans on the shot attempt. Gets it in. Now back up to the point. Schmidt sends it back down low. Haley in the corner. Haley eligible to play after review by the tournament director of the play yesterday, for which he was ejected. Purdue with a shot and he scores! SDP on the board early, less than 2 minutes into the game. And that was Purdue from Haley and probably whoever sent it from the point. But, okay. Nice start. Let's go, boys. I did watch back that play that Haley was ejected for on this YouTube yesterday, and I believe the tournament director told Coach Billy that it was maybe, and there were 2 maybes used, a cross-check, possibly. I could have seen a minor penalty, definitely, but nothing beyond that. The tournament rules do say that any checking from behind is a 5-minute major and a game misconduct, but that was not a check from behind, and I'm glad that they got it right. All right, Green from the wall, gets it to Beeler. Beeler doesn't get a lot on that shot. Jackal hits the outside of the goal. He and Hiscari take down the opposing skater. Green. Jackal. Jackal back down low. Hiscari. Green. Green to Beeler. Beeler not able to get it through. It's intercepted. Going the other way are the Blue Devils. They shoot. Bad save, Severson. Rebound sat loose before being taken away by Jackal and out to Hiscari. Hiscari sends it to Keegan Green. Osborne stops the Blue Devils' progress out. Now Scribner goes into the zone along with Mertz. Mertz centers. Roysum backhand to Scribner. Shot save. Still loose. And the Blue Devils take it out behind their own net. Blue Devils opt to send it the length of the ice. That's a strategy we've seen a few times this weekend as an opposing team is under pressure. In youth hockey, you can change lines after icing the puck, unlike the higher levels of the game. So the Blue Devils get some fresh skaters. Ogborn holds the zone to Scribner, to Mertz, and he sends it well over the top of a mostly open cage. Roysum is going to go to the box, likely for a hook or a trip. Delayed penalty coming. SDP gets a touch. Tripping is the official call. Could have seen that go either way. And the game's first power play goes to the Blue Devils. 4.5 minutes into the game. Maverick Johnson behind his own net. Tries to clear. It does hop out. Purdue applying pressure. He takes the puck and clears it. Now the Blue Devils send it right to Purdue. Purdue with a shot that gets deflected up into the netting. Good pressure by SDP on the shorthanded situation. Purdue with another shot attempt. Now Johnson scores! Johnson buried that rebound. Just Blake.
They're the only ones that touched it off of the face-off, I think.
SDP with great shorthanded pressure. Now they send the puck back into the Blue Devil zone. Jackal creates a loose puck. Haley goes there to pick it up along the wall. Jackal holds it in along with Haley. Haley comes out with it over to the corner. Blue Devils unable to get out of their own zone. Price sends it back in. Jackal holds it again. He's got Haley on the weak side. He sends it there and goes through. Now Price sends it back down. Becoming difficult to tell which team has the man advantage. Playing the entire PK in the Blue Devil zone, controlling the action. Now the Blue Devils finally do gain the SDP zone with 5 seconds remaining on the penalty. That could have been a penalty called on them. Surprised it wasn't. And the puck goes up to Hiscari. Blue Devils take it away. They hit the... Wow. Multiple skaters losing their footing at center ice. Green able to gain the zone. Hiscari able to hold, get it back to Green. They're at the end of a long shift. Beeler gets it over to Scribner on his backhand side. Sends it in, Beeler! Hiscari! And they both jam the puck into the goaltender. We have a stoppage. SDP completes their change and brings out Royston and Mertz. Royston took it off the draw around, and now Mertz sends it back the other way. Micah picks it up there and sends it into the feet of Scribner. And it comes out. Now Scribner passes it into the Blue Devil skates. Beeler to his partner behind the goal, who banks it back. Up to Mertz. Mertz has Micah up ahead. He drops it for Scribner, who sends it past just out of the reach of Mertz. Good puck movement by this line. They've been incredibly effective through the tournament. Beeler knocks the opposing skater off the puck, and Henry Graff takes it the other way. Graff coming in with speed. He shoots it low. Now Mertz splitting the defenders, but loses the puck, and there's going to be a whistle and a hooking penalty. SDP will go to the power play. 6:51 to go in period number 1. Maverick Johnson wins the draw to Ogborn. Blue Devils send it down into the SDP zone. Johnson picks it up there, sends it in the direction of Purdue. Purdue carries it in. Drives wide, tries to center. That was deflected, and the Blue Devils are able to get it clear. Johnson gets it to Purdue. Purdue sends it off the stick of Haley. Johnson erases the puck carrier, takes it and sends it back to Purdue. Purdue drops it for Haley. Haley comes around, sends it back. Oh, right through. And here's a shot by Snyder. Rebound loose. And Devils are doing a nice job on their part of clearing pucks and making us skate back the length of the ice. No touch there, and that's going to be icing.
Let's go, White! Let's go! Hey, take care! Let's go!
Blue Devils send it in on Severson, who sends it out to Schmidt. Schmidt out to Hiscari. There's 35 seconds remaining on the man advantage. Jackal carries into the zone, leaves for Green. Green to Hiscari. Nice passing play before Hiscari gets taken out. Now Hiscari back out to the point. D to Price. Price drives in, sends it low, back to Hiscari. I think they scored. Talon Hiscari put the puck on the net, and the Blue Devils skater pushed it in with his stick. So that'll be Hiscari from Jackal and Green. Actually Price, but sorry. I might be a little slow this morning. I stayed up and watched the Wild game. May have had a couple of adult beverages. And the coffee is mostly kicked in, but not entirely. So I missed an assist there. Apologies to the Price family. The statistics will not be accurate. 4:40 to go in period number 1. SDP exits their own zone. Green carries it in. Makes a move along the wall. He has Scribner streaking. Is he going to see him? Scribner was coming up the slot. Schmidt goes down to retrieve, and why is that a whistle? What? Roughing? Yeah. I don't know if anybody saw it. The official saw it. Saw something. I don't know what he saw. But Keegan Green will go to the box for 2 minutes. And SDP will play 4-on-5 hockey again. Scribbling up to Graff. Graff sends in a shot. Royson creates a loose puck. Scribner with the pressure. Blue Devils once again having trouble exiting their zone. Beeler sends it right back in. Now they send it back to Beeler. Beeler to Graff. Graff to Royson. Royson sends it on net. Scribner sends it back up to the point. Beeler sends it in. That was not offsides. That was sitting on the blue line. The official right below me probably had a better view than me, but probably not. 5 seconds remaining on the green penalty, and Mertz carries through. He carries into the circle. He shoots, and that goes wide. Shot by the Blue Devils is blocked. Nice stretch pass by Mertz to Haley. Haley sends a rocket past the net. Blue Devils skater collides with Snyder. Puck goes out to Johnson. Johnson drops it back for Ogborn. The penalty has expired and SDP's at full strength. Johnson tips it ahead. Purdue goes right through the hands of the Blue Devils skater, and they send it in from the wrong side of the red line. That'll be icing. 1:35 to go in period number 1, and we will get an ozone draw. Blue Devils win the draw, but don't get it out. Shot goes in. Johnson goes over to the wall to pick it up. He's able to get it back to center. Tried to get it in the direction of Purdue in the slot. Blue Devils clogging up the passing lanes. Johnson sends it up past Purdue. What? Blue Devils skater was holding Purdue for an extended time. I'm not sure what brought that on or why it wasn't called, but Jackal joins the fray, takes the puck, tried to get it through, but it hit a skate. Sends it back up to the point to Schmidt. Blue Devils cleared out to neutral ice. Price now sends it off the stick of Jackal and in. Price carries in, the bench calling 10 seconds. And that goes through the crease. That will do it for period number 1. As has been the case throughout pool play, SDP dominated puck possession, offensive zone pressure, chances, and goals. Good start for the boys. Glad to see the morning wasn't too early for them. I'll tell you, this coffee is important, but it's not very hydrating.
I don't know what's going on. The other pool has sort of probably game decides who gets.
It does, yeah. They are.
See if I can. I don't know if they show the score or anything.
I don't know. Check it out.
See this.
Broadcasting partner and statistician Mike Ogborn checking up on the other pool game. We have the Lab Rats versus Chinook Orange, and the winner of that game will win Pool A and play in the championship game.
I don't see it in
They are playing. Oh, okay. No live scoring. They are playing in Rink 1. They started at 7 a.m. Here in Rink 2, we have 15 minutes on the clock and a puck on the ice. Jackal Green and Hiscard to start out, along with Graff and Beeler. Shot on Severson, and he saves and holds.
Open those windows. You're supposed to be able to see both rings.
Beeler behind his own net. Sends a draft that goes right to the Blue Devils skater, but they don't get much on the shot. Jackal takes it, sends it out off the stick of Green. Green makes a move, gains the zone, gets it over to Hiscari, shoots! Right into the goaltender for a save. Jackal now on the ice, waving his stick at the puck. Graff steps up and holds his own, gets it back to Green. Centers! Scores! That was Green who sent it to Mertz. Mertz made no mistake from the goal mouth. Yep.
From what I can tell, the lab rats are 3-0.
1 minute and 9 seconds into period number one, and SDP has scored again, making it 4-0. Mertz looking for more, sends it to Ogborn. Lots of traffic in front of the net. Couldn't get that one through. Royce not able to get a stick on the puck, and here's a shot that goes through the crease. Mertz able to pick it up with speed. He gets checked into the boards. That's going to be a delayed penalty as Severson races to the bench. And a trip. He tripped him with his shoulder into his chest. It's a curious choice of call by the officials. SDP power play nonetheless. Johnson tries to get it through, not able to. Now it goes to Haley in the corner. Haley looking for Purdue in the slot, but that was blocked by the Blue Devils. Snyder sends a pass. Puck goes in. Johnson carries it around. Makes a couple moves. Sends it to the slot. Snyder holds. He shoots. It's loose. And cleared out, but not all the way out. Snyder goes to Ogborn. He sends it backhand to Haley. Haley off the stick of Purdue. And Blue Devils finally get a clear. 1 minute into the power play. They're attempting to change. Let's see if we can catch them. Let's go. Move the puck. Johnson now goes back and gets it. Sends it up to Purdue. Purdue carries it in. Gets knocked off the puck. Price holds and sends a low shot. Price sends it up past Hiscari. No icing. That's waved off. 10 seconds to go in the man advantage. Hiscari goes in on the forecheck. Blue Devils send it out. Joshua Price makes sure the fans are paying attention as he sends one high off the glass in this direction. Blue Devils back at full strength. Price behind his own goal. Sends it out. Johnson creates a loose puck. Iscari to Green. Green drives wide and sends it in deep. Iscari sends it right to the Blue Devils. Schmidt around to Beeler. Beeler back to Schmidt. Up ahead to Green. Green to Maverick Johnson. He's in all alone with the goaltender. He makes moves, but good lateral movement by the Blue Devils goaltender to take away the opportunity. Beeler now from his own zone. Sends it up off the stick of Green. And he's tripped. That's what a trip looks like. It's much more of a conventional trip, I would say. And SDP will return to the power play. 9:41 to go. In period number 2. They will go with Jackal, Green, and Hiscari, along with Graff and Beeler. Blue Devils win the draw, but unable to clear. Graff sends a hard, low shot that got through all of the traffic, but went wide right. Beeler sends it back in deep. Alan Hiscari takes the puck at the goal line. Moves to the slot, shoots! Glove save. Another shot that doesn't get through, and the Blue Devils clear. Severson sends it to Graff. Graff gets speed going through the neutral zone. Carries it through, shoots, and gloved by the goaltender. Nine minutes to go in the period, 1:20 left on the man advantage. SDP changes all 5, bringing out Scribner, Roysam, and Mertz, along with Snyder and Ogborn. Draw to Ogborn. Blocked shot by a shin pad. Mertz goes down below the goal line. Sends it to Scribner. Puck comes up to Snyder at the top of the circle. He shoots it and it deflects through wide right. Ogborn takes it down low. Makes a move and he shoots. Saved by the goaltender. Another shot, save. And the puck goes up into the air and is gloved by the Blue Devils goalie, who's doing some pretty good work considering the amount of pressure he's faced. Looks like only one goalie on the Blue Devils roster, one goaltender. I don't see another one on the bench, so the same one for the game. Scribner to Mertz on the back door, but it was on his backhand side. Ogborn tries to hold his own, doesn't quite do it. Scribner back in on sides. He has Mertz going, he 2-on-0. Oh, and sends it through. Once again, Mertz on his backhand side, tougher to catch and shoot. Now the puck goes out. Blue Devils gain the zone. They shoot. Save by Severson. Finn has played well with the limited shots that he's faced this weekend. Leading the tournament in goals against average, shutouts, wins. And there's Haley. Creating a loose puck. He's got Purdue with him. He shoots and he scores! Rylan Haley with a fifth goal for SDP just after it went to full strength. .37 to go, about halfway through the game. And the boys, with the pink tape on their sticks for Mother's Day, are playing well. Haley gets pinned into the wall. Johnson there with him. Johnson comes out with it. It's sandwiched between a couple of Blue Devils. Haley gets knocked to the ice. Johnson erases the puck carrier. Blue Devils dump it in. Johnson brings it around, takes some contact. Purdue onto the tape of Haley. Haley gets hit from behind. That's going to be a penalty. And if we use the same standards that ejected him from the game yesterday, that was a more egregious check from behind. Not advocating for an ejection of the Blue Devils, but certainly not consistent.
Setting up a spin move, maybe.
He was. It's kind of similar to in the Avs Wild series. Every time Quinn Hughes has tried to make his spin move, they've tried to hit him, knock him down. It's about the only time I've seen Hughes get hit. Keegan Green in his own end. Sends it to Jackal. Jackal to Hiscari. Hiscari back to Jackal and a shot. Goaltender gets down and saves it. Graff. Back to Green. Green from the wall. Has Hiscari in the back door. Tries to get it there. And a clear. Graff in his own end. Sends it up to Keegan Green. Green going horizontal at center ice. Now Beeler takes it. Beeler driving the net. Sends it back around. Blue Devils catch that pass. Hiscari up to Green. Hiscari. Moving the puck around. Sends it up to Beeler. Beeler with a shot. And Jackal deflects it in. What's that? Hiscari. So that will be Jackal from Beeler and Hiscari for goal number 6 for SDP. Royson to Mertz. Mertz with a low shot, and the goaltender sits on it. He's pretty deep in the crease. He's going to push it out. Little vet move there. Savvy by the goaltender to slide the leg forward before lifting it. For 15 to go. We've already reached running time in the second period. What's that? Yeah, exactly. This very amateur operation has one camera operated from an iPhone. I would say in future years we'll try to do better and install some cameras over the top of the goal line so we know what happened. Scribner pivoting in the corner, sends it to Mertz. And the Blue Devils go to their default move, which is icing the puck, but that one was on Severson, so no icing. Roysum to Ogborn. Ogborn makes a move, shoots. Save by the goaltender of the Blue Devils. Snyder gets taken down. That's going to be a penalty. Yet another trip by the Blue Devils and yet another power play for SDP. 3 minutes and ticking in the second. Do we have a... Oh. We have a Blue Devil skater being escorted off the ice by the official. I believe there may have been some extra chatter from the bench. Yeah. They didn't put somebody else in the box. They just took the kid. So unsportsmanlike, maybe lipping off to the ref. I don't know. No. Price sends it over to Schmidt. Schmidt backhanded down to Purdue. Purdue sends it around. Price unable to hold that one. Johnson now sends it up. Purdue has it taken away. Now over to Purdue. Purdue with a high shot goes into the glove of the goaltender and he drops it down, holds it. About a minute left on both the penalty clock and the game clock. Both continue to tick through the transition. Puck goes up to Henry Graff. Graff with a low shot from the circle, and the Blue Devils redirected it dangerously. It ends up going wide to the left. Now they send it up along the boards. Graff back down to Green. And Wisconsin gets a clear. Severson to Beeler. Beeler up ahead to Hiscari. He catches the backhand clearing attempt with his body and sends it around to Green. Green to Graff. Graff brings it out of the zone. SDP needs to tag up. That ends the penalty, and that ends the period. Couple more goals for SDP in period number 2. And we head to the third, the 6-goal lead, running time. Ticking down our way to a championship appearance this afternoon. Want to check on that other one?
I think that's real 0.
That game's probably over, actually. Might be able to check on that website. They've been getting them up pretty quick. The games are over. Hey, how's it going?
It's 3-0.
Was that from the last place that you watched it? No. All right. Period number 3 underway. SDP wins the draw. Scribner carries it in and with a hard shot saved by the goaltender. Roysum takes it below the goal line. Sends it up to Snyder. Snyder with a shot that misses wide left. Ogborn sends it down deep. Roysum had his pass deflected. And he takes out the Blue Devils skater from behind and will go to the box. That's his second penalty of the game, which means he can't afford another. Tournament rules are 3 penalties and you're out. I wonder if that is what happened to the other Blue Devils skater. Actually, they've had quite a few minor penalties in this game. And if they had the same kid that took 3 of them, he'd be out of the game. SDP off the draw, clears. All the way down. Purdue comes through and lifts a stick. Haley goes to the ice. Price backhands it to the slot, and the Blue Devils ice the puck. Whoa, why is that not icing? It crossed the goal line before Severson touched it. He probably shouldn't have touched it, but it did cross the goal line. Just funny to see them icing the puck on the power play. Haley gets hit down on the goal boards and a cross check assessed to the Blue Devils, and that will even things up for a short time and actually end up creating an SDP power play. Depends on when they put the penalty on the board, because we're at 50 seconds and ticking on our penalty. All right, so it's going to be 40 seconds remaining on the Roysum penalty. So 40 seconds of 4-on-4, followed by a minute 20 SDP power play. Graff with a low shot into his skate. Johnson carries it around, drops it back to Green. Green back to Johnson. Johnson with a block shot attempt. Green comes away from the boards with the puck. Pivots. He has 3 Blue Devil skaters on him. That means somebody's open. That's somebody's Johnson, and he couldn't get anything on the shot attempt from the slot. Graff with a shot. It goes wide to the left, and Green goes down and picks it up. Heskari joins now. SDP at full strength and on the power play for about a minute. Johnson not able to get stick on puck on that shot attempt. Beeler to Graff to Heskari. Heskari to Johnson. Backhands it to the crease. Heskari with a soft backhander goes wide left, and now it goes to the goaltender. He freezes. 33 seconds and ticking on the man advantage. "20 seconds now when the puck is dropped. Discarded Jackal. Jackal has his shot blocked. Blue Devils skated out to neutral ice, backhand it right to SDP, but then they take it away. Snyder takes it back, sends it to Green. Green has Heskari streaking to the net, gets it to him. Heskari scores! Nice passing play by the boys. This line is moving the puck really well today. From Jackal and
Stop down.
Green off the draw. Pivots along the wall. Up to Ogborn. Jake Ogborn flips it ahead. Scary catches it before it hits the goal line. Carries it around with speed. Back to Ogborn. He sends it in low. The Scary drops it backhand, and the Blue Devils ice the puck. Or not, because Severson played it. And now Ogborn chips it to Green. Green to Scribner. The net's off now. I mean, we know telling the refs that is frowned upon based on yesterday, but the net is off its moorings. The goaltender continues to push it, and SDP scores into a net that is about 4 inches out of position. The refs go and check it and say, oh, good enough. Yeah, and from, I don't know. I'm not getting second assists today. We're doing the best we can. That may not be true. That's not the best I can do, but it's the best I can do today. And with that goal, we reach a fun milestone. Each of the 4 pool play games SDP has played in, they've scored at least 8 goals. That net is just well out of position, and the refs give it a shake and say, well, it's just got some play in it. But it's still on the moorings, so we'll go with it. Yeah, our games were 8-2, 8-0, 10-4, and now 8-0. So that's 34 goals for and 6 goals against in pool play. A 4 touchdown differential. It's starting to get chippy and physical between the teams on the ice right now, the boys on the ice. Mertz with a couple of attempts. Johnson gets tripped and taken to the ice. No call there. The rest are just seemingly letting them play the rest of the way. I heard that last night referred to as reffing the score. Johnson now. Oh, he tried to leave it for Purdue, and it just ended up... Oh, that's a goal. They call that a goal, and now Johnson and Purdue are talking to each other like, did you score that? Did I score? Who got that goal? I mean, Johnson sent it into the goaltender. We'll give it to him.
I feel like it must have gone in on the original.
Yeah, I think so.
One way or another.
No, at this point, nobody's skating to the bench. So that's usually the easiest way to know in those situations. Oh, and the Blue Devils go back to the box. There was some chippiness between that kid and Blake. They're exchanging shoves and hits, and Blue Devils get penalized for it. There's 4:15 remaining on the game clock and 2 minutes of power play time. And Keegan Green quickly scores. Beats the goaltender high on the glove side and adds insult to injury. I expected we were just going to pass it around the perimeter for that power play, and we decided to just put some salt in the wound and give it a good push. Physical play continues along the boards. Ogborn making moves in his own end, clears it out. Blue Devils need to tag up. They do. They gain the zone. And a shot goes high and around. Green sends it to Hiscari at the blue line. Hiscari sends it back in. Taken away. Blue Devils shoot wide right of the net. 2.5 minutes remaining. Do we have an update on the website? Let's see if we have a championship opponent. Bodies falling over each other on the boards. Mertz forechecking like it's the first period, looking for Scribner on the back door. Check the tournament site. They should have the. Oh, really?
We were their stop spot. We were running.
Oh, yeah.
We were sort of 15 minutes early
Glove save by Severson. You know he wanted that one to preserve the shutout. We don't know. The tournament website is not yet updated with the result of the other games, so we don't know who our opponent is. And one more rush goal for SDP. Johnson, I believe, went into the net. Was that Graff that scored that one? Who scored that one? Justin. Justin. Grab. Who got that one? Oh, and Finn does the Wallstead celebration. The Vol of St. Paul Selly to celebrate his shutout. SDP came in looking for a win or a tie to punch their ticket to the championship, and they did so in dominant fashion. We will be back with you at 2:30 this afternoon, I believe, is when the championship game starts. Our opponent is still TBD, but we will be with you at that time. Hope everyone has a good Mother's Day in between now and then. Oh, it says Lab Rats. Crossbar updated. There's a Mother's Day tribute from the boys to all the moms out there. SCP versus